Hello everyone, welcome back to Bloodbourne Reborn, my Waste of Skin playthrough. I have been on many adventures outside the main game, in Chalice dungeons. I've gotten past the lower Hintertomb, and up to the lower Primero, but that has allowed me to unlock a lot of armor, a bunch of semi-useful gems, items, and I've also got a store where I can actually buy poison knives from a Chalice dungeon vendor, which is useful because otherwise I would have to wait until I got the Cosmic Eye badge, which is much later in the game. So yeah, all around, good things. I also farmed the Nightmare Frontier a little bit for bolt gems, just in case I might need them. I was hoping for a radial, but I didn't get them. But I did get a triangle, and obviously the waning. Anyway, this has got nothing to do with what we're doing right now. We need to go to Cainhurst Castle, because this is the earliest way to upgrade our weapons. And boy, do I need weapon upgrades if I want to get past some of the things coming up. And Cainhurst Castle itself is no pushover, but I think I'll be okay with what I got. The axe would probably be the better weapon to be using though. But I don't think I slotted any gems back into it after my last Chalice dungeon adventure, because I needed to switch my cleaver to physical, and that involves stripping out all the gems. It's entirely possible I will never get past the lower Primero dungeon, simply because of ROM. The Chalice dungeon version of ROM is horrid. I probably tried 50 times in my last playthrough to get past it, and there was really no room for improvement. You have to do it just perfectly in a situation where the variables can be so random and so uncontrollable that you just can't do it. Or at least you can't account for it. You would have to be some sort of, you know, a much better gamer than me, because I tend to any success I have in these games is just from learning what to do and getting a somewhat decent execution of it. I'm certainly not so good on my feet that I can just react to everything that's happening on the screen right away. I have to be able to anticipate, and Rom the Vacuous Spider is not that sort of boss. It's a very twitchy, scrappy, nasty sort of fight where the minions can do their own thing at their own timing, no matter what Rom herself is actually doing. Which is a shame, because Rom has omnipresent range. There is nowhere that those meteors can't follow you. And their tracking is very weird, and their timing is completely up to Rom herself. So yeah, I'm very afraid of the lower Primero tomb. That's how I would put it. I used to be much more scared of these spiders than I am now. But nowadays I think they're not as bad as they once were. Still a little bad. I was hoping to cause more damage than that. And I don't really want to be behind him. If I can get him into a jumping mood again, that would be the best, but nope. Very well. I'll just take you down the old-fashioned way. These guys used to flat murder me whenever I came here the first time. It wasn't even a question. They would always get a kill off on me before I thought better of it. Probably because I used to think that I could stagger them much easier than I actually can. And your instinct is to get behind them, but that's actually a really dangerous place to be. Ooh, blood-tinged gemstone. Probably don't need it. It's probably not better than what I have, since I got one off the Bloodstarved Beast. Yeah, I think that's the one I got off the Bloodstarved Beast, and that is slightly better. Although not as good as the one I actually have in my gun. This would be a good time to run past people, but it can be surprisingly hard to do. I am a little afraid that I'll take a bad hit and that will be over for me. Oh crap. Yeah, like that. I don't know if this is the type of enemy that like gets pissed off when you use blood vials. I don't think they are. Oh crap. That was questionable. Since those are all frontal attacks and I was clearly behind him when I died, but very well. Touché. I should have run up to the door, because at least then it would have opened. And I could have run past him the next time. Oh dear. The decisions we make. Trying to do the right thing. I wonder what would happen if I really just ran up to the door. Like, let's just throw caution completely to the wind. And say, you know what? I don't need your caution. I am a hunter of beasts. Well, that was easy. And oh, fire is effective? Damn. I actually have pretty good fire gems. My instinct is to collect everything on the ground floor, but I don't actually know if there is a great deal of purpose to me actually doing that. See how this goes. Okay, that's unfortunate. I would at least like to be able to kill a ghost in one combo. But I think it would have to be... I would have to alternate every attack to kill them in one combo. Maybe I should. Let's give it a go. 1, 2, 3, 4... Nope, ran out of stamina. And I pissed off everyone around me. And that's also not how you do a transforming attack combo. Well, could be worse. Not by much, but hey. As if anyone cares about the specifics. Maybe some fire paper? Maybe that'd be the... I'm totally gonna get killed while I'm screwing around the menu. Maybe not. Is fire effective? Because I gotta be honest, that doesn't seem to be doing that much more than you would expect any buff to be doing. I always thought these guys were weak to bolt, but maybe not. For some reason I tend to attach bolt weakness to a lot of things that aren't actually weak to bolt. I guess I can't accept the fact that the only things that are weak to bolt are kin. And for some odd reason the Shadows of Yharnam, who are most definitely not kin, but for some reason I have really low bolt defense. Which is annoying because it's really hard to get bolt damage going before the Shadows of Yharnam. Well, it may not be killing him in one set, but can't deny the cleaver has a really, really nice R1. Oh. Too eager by half. This is where the axe is better though, because screw these guys. I don't want to slowly have to chip away at you all. I just want to use one big flashy move and delete you all from the game. As much fun as it is to knock her off the platform, it's annoying to have to go hunt her down, so let's just carefully erase you and get a blood chunk. Yay! That's our first one. That's what we're really here for. Good old blood chunks. Go back and upgrade my weapon, change it to fire, and come back later. I've forgotten, do these ghosts drop anything at all, ever? Or are they really just ghosts in every sense of the word? Sometimes I forget the saw cleaver can actually do pretty well in its extended form. Certainly does a number on these type of enemies. It's like, hey, cool. Don't have to be too close. And I can lay some beat down. Don't like this room. Let's get out of here. Yeah, well, fire paper's pretty cheap, so let's not be shy about it. There we go. One lady burnt to a crisp. Just because I'm always afraid someone's going to come up behind me. And I'll get rid of you. Oh, crap. I know these enemies are trash, but I still don't want to get hit. The screaming head versions later are the worst. Because they can legitimately wreck me in like one hit. And their moves aren't entirely predictable. These ones basically never do anything too surprising, so you can feel pretty safe fighting them. But the ones with projectiles and the ones that go berserk when you get hit by a dart, those are nasty. And I always feel nervous in this castle until I get up to the point where I can open the shortcut. Yes, I better. Okay, that was not a good situation to be in, but that works for me. Ah. If that had been a chunk, that would have been the best. But it is hard to get chunks out of these guys. Not all that hard to get chunks off these bodies, though. If I'm gonna have to fight him anyway, I'm gonna knock him to the ground. The problem with a cheap tactic like that is you can never be sure if they're going to do it back to you. Yes, I always like... I don't like trying to get the first hit in with a melee attack against gargoyles. Even when they're standing still. I'd much rather respond to what they're trying to do. Knock them down. Slash away at their body. As long as we can get past this rapier guy, we'll be okay. Not my favorite type of person, though. Well, the recording stopped for a second, but to be honest, he's not that big a deal. I get artificially nervous around him because he's basically the last enemy before the shortcut. So if you really screw up there, then you got a long walk back to where you're going. Okay, I probably shouldn't have actually gotten on the elevator, but what the hey. We can feel good about ourselves. We made it to the shortcut. Now it's time to loot us a castle of all its worldly goods. A lot of which we will not actually need, but it still feels good to loot. Now, I generally dislike this arrangement, but it's pretty easy to get rid of one of them. That is not a good way to farm them, though. Yeah, one of the more unpleasant things we have to do is navigate this room. Complete with its very dumb dart-throwing enemy. Oh dear, he got me. Time to book it. At least until the stupid curse wears off. Ooh, wide slashes with the cleaver are nice. Oh, I thought she was dead. You stop that. Goddamn asshole. Yeah, let's kill enough ghosts so we can get the treasure chest. We're gonna have enough trouble upstairs dealing with freaking dart-blowing Nimrods and their ilk. Oh. It's unusually active ghost. Let's get rid of the one that we can. Keep it up. Oh, my arm is certainly getting work out here. They're not too sandbaggy, but they are taking a lot of hits. Probably a good thing that I went and got some better blood gems before trying this. Or it would have even been worse than this. I generally feel the best thing to do is just go straight for the dart blower. They're usually the trouble. I despise these guys. Oh crap. Once they're out of the picture, the rapier dudes... Okay, this is actually a problem. That was a weird animation. Nope, the second one is here. Now my current plan is to open the shortcut and circle back around to that floor so that I can defeat the rapier soldiers. Oop. Thought I had enough going for me there. We'll ignore the other room for the moment. We'll make this purely about clearing out enemies carefully and opening shortcuts. I doubt I could defeat Mighty Ligarius at the moment. I need to do a Rocky training montage with my other character, probably before that will be possible. But I should be able to get at least enough to upgrade a weapon or two. Technically I can upgrade all my weapons with enough patience, if I'm willing to farm gargoyles. But that does take a lot of patience. Particularly when you don't have any extra item discovery to help you along. Now, the only problem with my strategy from before is now some of them have changed their locations. Okay, under control. I didn't know they dropped numbing mist. That is interesting. I cannot believe he didn't notice me. Carefully, carefully. Yeah, you can see the whole thing from up here. That's kind of neat. I don't think I ever bothered to look over the railing here and see the floor below. Oh crap. Can't give in to my urges. I'm always taking a bit of a risk, because if they get the first hit on the way up, I'm probably not going to do very well. Oh, it's a dark guy, is it? I thought for sure he'd be a sword guy. Guess it doesn't matter, as long as we get the bloodstone chunk. I don't think I need anything in the room below, but it's, you know, you feel compelled to try and clean it out. The only problem with that is I remember getting completely owned the last time I tried this with a level 4 character, because there are a lot of, I don't want to say unfair, but definitely tricky elements to this room. You get hit by a dart in this room, or paralyzed by one of the maidens, this can be a tricky place to recover. And it shames me to say it, but I don't know the layout of this room and its enemies that well. And I would definitely feel better with an axe, because I would have a much better chance of hitting these weapons from out of her range. I don't know if they themselves have much of an attack, or if they're just there to make the other enemies around them more effective. are fairly easy to interrupt, at least. It's the one over there that's going to be the tricky one. I don't think they will fall for blood cocktails, but maybe with some Molotovs placed in the right spots. Oh. That didn't do it. If anything, that just made it harder. Who knows, maybe they will fall for Molotov, for pungent block cocktails. I don't use so many of them that it wouldn't be worth a try. Yeah. A lot of the time you'll get paralyzed there and then you'll be up shit creek without a paddle. Oh, that was nice. I like that. Let's try that again. Woohoo! Incidental damage. OP. The more headless ones I get rid of, the better I'll feel about it. Oh, that does well. The ones with heads by themselves don't really scare me too much. Is anyone gonna pop out and cause me grief? Nope. Looks like we've got a restrained audience now. I think there's at least one or two ghosts left. Definitely one by the chest. However, she's got a head. Well, they all have heads, but you know what I mean. Her head is still on. I think this is knight armor, which I definitely want. It's good to have. Yeah, doing well. This is a pretty good run of Cainhurst so far, except for that embarrassing spider death at the start. Now let's... I've opened up the shortcut, so there's not a lot of risk associated with this. Let's just get him to come down. Oh. Come on. Do something else. I'll throw a bomb at you. Don't think I won't. I'll be as cheap as I want to be. I think that's it. Not a bad run. I may need fire paper, I would say. It's because I want to be chasing down a wandering nightmare. And fire damage does the trick. How much blood chunks have I obtained in this trip, I wonder? I do not know. I hear a ghost. But I don't know what ghost could possibly remain. Yeah, even with fire paper. Wasn't giving up that easy. Oh well, let's take a look. Is this a blood-tinged droplet? I want to say? Yes, warm blood gemstone. It might improve my gun. Maybe. No, it won't. Blood tin scaling is going to be worthless on this build. I really need either a really good flat increase or something that does... I'm just not going to play with these guys. Let's just grab the item and get out of here. Then again, considering where I'm going, it's not like I have anything to do except warp out. Because I'm not going in there. I did think I would have more blood chunks than this at this point. I know I'm missing 2 from the Nightmare Frontier, because they're in a bit of an awkward spot. If I had 1 more blood chunk, I would be enough for 2 upgrades, I think. No, wait, I need 2 more, which means I need the 2 from the Nightmare Frontier, and then I have a +8 weapon. I think that's how that works. Well, I might have to go fight Amygdala then, so let's warp out, and I'll see you in a bit.